Now let's go to results. Results will show us the level required to breed a specific pair, which 2 parent pets it will take, the total time needed for the breeding process, the possible 1 offspring you can obtain from a successful breeding session, plus the experience given if successful. Note, if unsuccessful, you do not gain any experience. Another note, during a breeding session, either pet can possibly die at a 50% chance, and you will lose the pet, unless you insure the pet, which would cost 60% of the wiki value in gold coins, or MOS. I will show you how to insure a pet here in a bit. Last note, you do not want to insure donkeys though, because it is just more reasonable to possibly lose one during the process and simply buy another. Let's look at offspring real quick for the donkeys and go over some things. Then we will obtain some food and start a donkey breeding session. We first have a royal donkey and then an undead donkey. The percentages we are seeing when hovering over a specific offspring is the minimum and maximum percent I was talking about earlier to obtain the pet if successful. So, regarding the empty squares we have total in the pen, this is where you can find out exactly how many empty squares you need to obtain the maximum percentage chance depending on your current breeding level. For example, if you are breeding level 3, you have a 50% chance for the royal donkey and a 6% chance for the undead donkey if successful. The max percentage on the royal donkey is 58. So, 58 minus 50 is 8%. Therefore, we would want 8 empty squares inside the pen to obtain the maximum percentage chance at breeding level 3 for donkeys, royal or undead. Because the undead has a max chance of 10%, 10 minus 6 is 4, which by having 8 empty squares, we have already achieved the maximum percentage for the undead donkey as well. Now, let's talk about how these different percents are combined and calculated on the chance of 1 offspring as the result. The first offspring from left to right will have the chance to dice roll first. And only if it fails will it then go to the next pet and dice roll that chance. So let's look at the equation I have here. 100% minus 58%, which is our royal donkey max, equals 42. Then 42% times 10%, which is our undead donkey max, equals 4.2. So 4.2% plus our original 58%, which is the max from the first pet dice roll, equals 62.2 chance of any successful breed at all with donkeys. Let's actually start breeding donkeys now. The only thing left we have not 100% gone over is the food for the pets. By clicking the nest and click formulas under general, we have all the food eaten by the specific pets as we learned before. This time though, let's go ahead and search donkey, and you will notice it will show us the royal, the undead, and the good old regular donkey. The donkey eats corn with a 70% fullness, wheat at a 50%, hay at a 40%, and grass at a 25%. At this time, you can either buy any of these type of foods on the player market or farm them yourself on your island. I purchase all my food, but it is totally your decision. For sake of simplicity, I use wheat always for donkeys because 50 plus 50 equals 100, straightforward, which means we will be using 2 pieces of wheat per donkey. So I need 4 pieces of wheat for 1 breeding session between the pair. Let's go ahead and place our chest anywhere on the island from the island build menu under objects, so we can access our items and the player market now from our island. Grab your 2 donkeys and your 4 wheat and get ready to be the best breeder in RPGMO. Let's go. The timing starts the second you place the donkey in the nest. Click the nest and click a donkey and it will be placed inside. Click Access Mate's Nest and click the other donkey and it will be placed as well. You'll notice we now have more options. Remove pet, happiness, hunger, likes, eats, and ensure pet. Remove pet, which just removes the pet and places it back into your inventory and any progress is lost. If you click it, it will also state this information. Happiness. This is how long it takes to be able to breed the pet, if breedable, or use the pet as cosmetic. Hunger. This is how you know when to feed the pet. How long the pet can handle without being fed before dying, and the amount of time needed for the feeding process. Likes. These are other pets that can breed with a donkey. Eats. Of course, this is the food required to feed the pet and the percentage of fullness it receives from each type of food. Ensure pet. We talked about this earlier, but the option wasn't accessible yet. Now, you know where it is. By clicking it, it will show you the cost in gold coins or MOS to 100% protect the pet in the event of death. Now that the donkeys are 50% hungry, we can feed them each 1 wheat. Note, if you use the wheat at 49% or lower and not 50% or higher, you will need to feed the donkey more than 2 wheat. So wait until 50% hunger to feed. After feeding the pets to 100%, you will notice the hunger bar goes away. And now you no longer need to feed the pet. And it is safe to leave or do whatever you want in game until the happiness reaches 100%. Now that the happiness is at 100% on both parent pets, you can see the breed option and are able to breed at this point. This is the first time experience will possibly come into play throughout the guide. The reason I say possibly, like stated earlier, if not successful, there is no experience gained. You can click the breed on either nest as well, and if successful, there will be 1 new pet created. Note again, there is a 50% chance that one of the parent pets can die if successful or unsuccessful. Let's look at the other options here before clicking breed. We have copy look and restore look. Copy look. This will make the current pet you have equipped or will equip in the future look like a donkey or any pet copied. This goes until you restore the look, which will return the original look of whatever pet you have equipped or will equip. Note, if you happen to go to No Man's Land or Every Man's Land with a cosmetic on your pet or any cosmetics for your gear, it will be reset. This is so anyone who goes to No Man's Land or Every Man's Land shows the actual gear and pet they have equipped for player versus player purposes. Let's click breed for our first breeding session. Like we've already learned, if successful, you will have gained 1 new pet with experience gained and that 50% chance of possibly losing one of the pets if not insured, which note again, we are never insuring donkeys. And of course, if not successful, no new pet, no experience gained, and that same 50% chance of possibly losing one of the pets. Note, both pets from a successful donkey breeding session, the royal and the undead, can be sold to the NPC, Dorpat Pet Trader, which I personally do, but some people sell on the player market. At this point, we have learned everything we need to know about the breeding profession skill in RPGMO, except a few small things I still want to cover. there is a 75% hunger notification, which you will receive as a message in the chat section. You do not need to enable this. This is automatic upon your pet in a nest reaching 75% hunger. What if I do forget to feed my pet? Well, it will die, and you just need to remove the pet before being able to place another in the nest, simply by clicking Remove Pet. It disappears. You don't need to do anything further. After feeding 100% and then achieving 100% happiness, you can actually leave them in there as long as you want. For example, I will not complete the breeding process for my 72 donkey setup after reaching 100% happiness until a 2x experience potion pops, because, like we learned, the experience only comes into play when actually clicking the breed button. This is totally optional, of course. I just wanted you to know that you can wait to fully finish the breed after doing the needed steps to achieve 100% happiness. And last, the fencing options. You can use the side of your breeding pen as one of the sides for other breeding pens you want to create in the future. Let me show you. The last thing I want to show you relating to fencing is how you can create a breeding pen with only one open square. This is how I am able to put my 72 nests on my island and have a total of 36 breeding pens. Let me show you. I will be dropping a video soon of statistics I have on breeding donkeys and just showing you how I breed 72 donkeys at a time on my island. I really hope all of you enjoyed this and were able to take some good information from my guide. Until next time, this is Rhythm, and Rhythm is a dancer.